All right, what is up, my peeps, So I'm gonna keep this one short and sweet, and you guys saw my review on the bike, you saw how it did on the highway. Now this video specifically is for the big guys, for my hulks, my tanks. This one's for you guys. So you guys already know I'm a bigger guy. I'm 6'1" and I'm 220 pounds. For those of you that don't know, you just found out, you done been told. That's the case. So 320cc, 300cc class, and being a bigger rider. What's it like? Can you do it? What's my opinion on it? And I mean, yeah, it can be done. I would definitely do it again. You know, I've got a heavy wrist or a heavy foot when I'm in a car, and this thing is very progressive, it's very forgiving, and you know, I don't want to be doing 200 kilometers an hour when I sneeze on the bike. So I mean, this lets you learn and get those basic skills and hone those basic skills to be able to become a better rider and move up to the 600cc range. I mean, yeah, if you're a bigger guy, the suspension on this bike, you're gonna notice it. I mean, I have the preload on the rear of this thing. It's got a shock, and you can adjust the preload on it like a coilover, and it helps it act like it's stiffer. It's not necessarily a stiffer spring rate. You can go and change the spring rate in the rear or in the front, and then in the front the fork oil, the weight of the fork oil, and make it stiffer. It'll handle differently, definitely. It might be a good thing. I see a lot of people do it for track racing, and if they want to be more sporty. The new bike, they've upgraded that. I've sat on it, I haven't ridden it on the new 2019 model or 2020 model. They've changed that, so that's different. This is a 2015. They made it the same throughout 2018. It's got a much softer suspension. It was made for more of, you know, cruising around, beginner bike in the city, commuting kind of vibe. The newer one is much more like a mini super sport. It's got a much stiffer suspension. The spring rate is totally different, as well as I believe there are different forks in the front. So they've re-engineered the suspension on it, and you notice it, as well as the top clamp in the triple tree here is different. It has something that's derived from like a racing series. They've got a bunch of slits. It's lighter, so you can see they went with a super sport vibe. It's got a more aggressive fairing on it, and the overall the feeling and the lean angle is the same on that bike. But back to this bike, as a bigger rider, I mean, definitely it can be done. I did it. But if you're doing longer highway rides, and you're an experienced rider, or you feel like, I mean, I'm 220 pounds. If you weigh more than me, if you weigh more than 220 pounds, don't get this bike. I would recommend don't buy this bike. Go for something else. Go for a CB500 or something, or go for, you know, the FZ07 is out there. Triumph makes an amazing street triple. There's a lot of other bikes out there that you can get. The Honda CB600 or 650 class. SV650, beautiful bike as a beginner. To me, I feel like they would be much more suited for someone who weighs 200 pounds and up. This bike, if you weigh in and around 180 and less, you can get by with this bike. It's not going to drastically change the performance of the bike. But my friends, if you weigh over 180, you are going to be handicapped. It's not made for someone like this. Is designed by someone who weighs 150 pounds soaking wet for someone who is 150 pounds soaking wet, and it really shows when I'm in the turns. Like, this thing does get sketchy. It's a beautiful bike. If you're a small guy, if you're a light guy, it's a great bike. You can get real sporty with it, and it take advantage of its sporty heritage. But for me, when I learned to, great bike, but as I progressed throughout that first year, getting into the second year, and I really got confident, I changed the tires, and you know, I'm a quick learner, thankfully. I watched Twist of the Wrist. I went out there, I practiced constantly. Like, I put 10,000 kilometers in this thing. My first season on this thing, I can only ride in the summer, but I put well over 10,000 kilometers on this bike. And you know, I did a lot of learning, a lot of practicing, educating myself. I did Moto Jitsu's you know, black belt system on this thing, and I just grew from there. So I got really confident, and as I got more confident, the more lean I wanted to get, the more aggressive I wanted to get with this bike. I really felt that the suspension, more particularly in the rear, was way too soft, and it would actually squat on me coming out of a turn, or if I were to hit like an uneven road and I was mid-turn, it would just sketch the hell out of me. So I mean, I ride within the bike's limits, within my limits, and I feel as a bigger rider, as a taller rider, I mean, I consider this thing no problem. I've sat on, you know, the Kawasaki 300s, the 400s, and to me, I feel like with my height, where the rear pegs are, the angle that I'm sitting at, well, nice Aprilia Tuono. That's a beautiful bike. This it feels great. The setup of it, the seating angle, the pegs, it feels great for me. And I'm 6'1" and 220 pounds. Can't say that enough. I'm a big guy. I like my ice cream and cheeseburgers. So yeah, that being said, I just wanted to keep this video short, keep it real for all the bigger guys, so they know what I didn't know. If they're looking to get this bike, what is it like? Yeah, it's doable. I would do it again, but if you weigh more than me, you're a taller guy, and you have a lot of highway driving to do, you want to keep the bike for more than just a season or so, I would definitely say, hey, if you want something you can grow into, I might suggest the SV650. Great bike, great learning bike. It's an amazing platform. They're all over the place. And yeah, so that's the video. I am getting pretty close to my burger spot, so thanks for watching this video. Kickstand helps. Kickstand sensor is a thing. Brought to you by Yamaha for your safety. You know, we don't have that magical race gear that those cars do.